This video is about the difference in debate between the House of Representatives and the Senate. So as we're looking at this picture here in the floor of the House of Representatives, a bill has already gone through the committee process and now is being discussed on the floor of the House of Representatives. There are 435 members in the House of Representatives compared to 100 members in the Senate. So when we're talking about debate in the House, because there are so many members, and that's really the only reason, we have to limit the amount of time that we allow each member to debate. So the maximum amount of time that any member of the House of Representatives on the floor can get to debate a particular issue is 1 hour. Now, there are different ways of going around this and ways of making it shorter and longer, but what I need for you to know is basically the maximum amount of time that a member of the House of Representatives has to discuss a particular bill on the floor is 1 hour. And the term that I want you to get into your notes is germane. And what that means in the House of Representatives, if they start to get off topic, so let's say this is a bill in the that has come out of the Agriculture Committee on pesticides. And so you are a member of the House of Representatives who wants to have a say or discuss or debate this particular bill. The only thing that you can talk about are things that are related to that particular bill. You cannot bring up anything else. And if you do, the presiding officer will gavel you and say that the topic has to be germane, or it has to be on that particular topic. You cannot discuss anything else. In the Senate, it's a little bit different. There are only 100 members. They don't have the Rules Committee in the Senate, so we're not going to attach any rules that limit the amount of time that they can debate or discuss. So because there are fewer members in the Senate, they have unlimited debate. And there is a tactic that is used in the Senate that the House of Representatives does not have, and it's called the filibuster. On the right-hand side, this is Senator Ted Cruz from Texas, and it says he took the floor at 2:41 p.m. and said he intends to speak until I am no longer able to stand. And so this is typically used by a person who, if we took a vote right now, would be on the losing end of this vote. So they are in the minority on this particular bill. And so what they do is they take the take the floor. Once they get the floor, they can hold the floor and talk as long as they want to. There has been a 24-hour, a little over 24 hours, the longest filibuster by one single person in the Senate. And what's interesting about that is that you can't stop talking. You're not supposed to lean on anything. You can't sit down. You can't eat anything. You can't drink anything. And once again, because you are talking and you can't leave the chamber, you can't leave to use the restroom or anything like that. So this, once again, is something that's in the Senate and not the House of Representatives. We could not allow the filibuster in the House of Representatives just because of the sheer size of it. There was an incident back in the early 1900s where several senators kind of tag-teamed each other. One person would get up and talk, then another, then another. And so they were able to hold the floor for 3 weeks. In a 3-week-long filibuster. And so the Senate decided that if there was a circumstance where the president needed to do something, especially where there was a issue with foreign policy, entering, something to do with a war, or sending troops overseas or something like that, we don't want to tie the hands of the Senate up indefinitely. So there has to be a way to stop a filibuster. And so the Senate instituted a rule it was Rule Number 22, also known as the Cloture Rule, C-L-O-T-U-R-E, cloture. So the Cloture Rule is used to stop a filibuster. And in order to invoke cloture, you have to have 60 votes. You have to have 60 senators who agree that they want to stop a filibuster. So this is really important. So if there is a piece of really, really important legislation that you're trying to get pushed through, and you know you don't have 60 senators who are in favor of this, if you only have 51 or 55, then anyone can filibuster your bill and they can hold the floor as long as they can. And so it really takes 60 votes in the Senate to pass anything, and that is a filibuster-proof bill. You know that it's going to get passed, and you don't have to worry about it being held up by a small minority who does not want this particular bill. And so once again, the protection of the minority this is another way we protect the rights of those people who are not necessarily in the majority.